Testosterone changes the game entirely for getting shredded for the summer, because it changes the old narrative of you have to bulk to gain loads of muscle and you have to cut really hard to lose the fat. And when most guys do this, they just lose muscle. And when they bulk, they don't really gain enough muscle for it to be worthwhile. So then they have to cut, because they get to 16 or 18 or 20% body fat. Then to get remotely lean again, they have to cut for like 16 weeks, 18 weeks. And if your testosterone is reasonably low whilst you're cutting for 16 weeks, you're gonna lose muscle. Testosterone changes everything. It makes the nutrient partitioning more effective regardless of what you're doing. If you're bulking, which I do not advise, but I just know how most guys think. If you're bulking, you will gain more muscle and less fat, generally speaking. If you're cutting, you will lose less muscle and more fat. So specifically, why does this happen? How does this happen? Well, it's the most obvious thing is the anabolism of the testosterone, especially when you're free, is quite high. You're more anabolic around the clock. You'll be more anabolic, particularly in the early hours of the morning and particularly post-workout. So anything you do there is going to be more effective. I don't need to explain how testosterone is obviously going to be useful for muscle gain, protein synthesis, even things like sleep quality and stuff. Testosterone is more anabolic. But what this really means is when your calories are low, which is technically a catabolic thing when you're in a calorie deficit, you're at risk of losing muscle. The testosterone is like a very, very strong buffer against that negative outcome. It's a strong protector when you're in a deficit. So that deficit, it's going to come from somewhere in your body. If you're in an energy deficit, you're going to get smaller, you're going to get lighter. Obviously, we want it to be coming from the fat stores and not the muscle. Testosterone makes this a lot easier, just like having lots of protein does, just like having really intense training does. And just as a side point, loads of, you guys probably aren't like this, but loads of Americans in particular seem to be obsessed with like your body weight, as if being heavier is somehow better. Like, I weigh 250 and it's like, and the dude's not exactly 6'6", and it's like, you're overweight. How is that possibly a good thing? It's this like a bigger is better thing, which is true in a lot of cases. But when it comes to body weight, and you're not really, really tall with huge amounts of muscle, so the quality of the weight is what we're after, which is my real point here. Losing muscle is an absolute disaster. Losing body fat is almost always a good thing. So the scale's going down, which some people view as a bad thing, even though they're overweight. But my real point here is to like, what is the makeup of that? What is the kind of, where is that weight coming from? Is it quality weight loss or is it muscle loss? Which is, now that I agree with you, if you're losing muscle, that's an absolute disaster. You never want to lose muscle. But testosterone helps you to make that balance far more favorable, especially if you've got 800 plus, especially if you're free, is relatively high. That's where it happens. How else does testosterone help you get shredded? It helps with your metabolism. Thyroid is probably the biggest thing with metabolism, but testosterone's big as well, and the two are linked. If you've got low thyroid, or really, really high thyroid, frankly, it can mess with your testosterone. It's something to look at. But if you've got low T, you tend to have less energy, you've got less drive for life. It is the S3X hormone, it's the thing that drives all of us, men in particular. When you have less of that, you have less drive, you have less energy to move about. Guys who are higher testosterone tend to have more of that desire to go out and conquer, basically. But that conquering energy, it requires calories. You burn more calories. you tend to put more effort into things. And all of this requires energy. And if your testosterone's high, your diet's right, your training is intense, that energy is coming from your fat stores, which is exactly what we want. Couple of old women ruining my video. How very rude. But yeah, and then the protein synthesis and also sleep quality. This is where testosterone can indirectly improve things. If your sleep is off, there's many potential causes for this, but testosterone being high tends to lead to better sleep quality, especially in older men, just anecdotally. Slight side tangent here. I never normally wear sunglasses, but my eyes are an absolute mess today. I don't recommend people really wear sunglasses when you're trying to get light into your eyes and you're trying to improve your circadian rhythm and sleep quality. On the topic of sleep, yeah, my eyes are a mess, and I don't want to be on camera with my eyes just being an absolute disaster. Now, if you do want to get shredded, you want to check out this video where I go into great detail on the exact how-tos of getting shredded, the big 4 factors you need to follow if you want to get really, really lean and stay that way as well. I explain it in a kind of a way that I don't think has ever really been explained before. It's a little bit different. Really help you to understand the underlying dynamics. So check it out. I'll see you in that one.